Okay, welcome you all with love. Just do a little prayer, merging the heart and mind. Nishemiku Kudashabri Hu Ushinate Bi Ilu Ur Imulaya Chamike Vavavke Biadashim Shem Kozrael Kolam Amen. Merging the heart and mind. And the horse, symbolically, in many traditions, Native American tradition, which I'm part of, in fact, my name was Yellow Horse. And in the Vedic tradition, my name was Red Horse, Rohita. The horse is about taking people to the heavens, on the horse with wings, going to the heavens. So that's what we're going to do. We'll start with a little dance. So I invite you to join me in the dance. That was good to dance to get settled in. Now there's quite a dance going on today. It's not the same kind of dance. We see Fauci being interviewed, and what we're seeing is very important to understand and trust the science is now turned into a pretty negative statement. Because the quote science Fauci was following was false silence. It was a lie. And we are put in a position of really having to challenge a lot that's coming out in this whole big picture. Now, as a medical doctor, I'm quite aware that what Fauci was promoting was a lie. And the research has pretty much bared it out that what I call bioweapon injection, what you call vaccination, really has done a lot of harm. As we look at the follow-up research, besides the fact that the amount of people that die right away and the amount of teenagers dying of heart attacks, we're also looking at a 40% increase in death in rates of death in people who took the bioweapon injection. Now, did Fauci do this on purpose? I can't really tell you. We have his diary notes, and it seems that his big issue was becoming important and becoming the most famous doctor, as it is quoted from his diary notes. And so his motivation may have been not to harm people directly. I'm not, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt for the moment, but really to become famous. and not really pay attention to the research, whether it worked or not. Did it come from the flesh market, the meat market, or was it really in Wuhan lab? It's pretty clear it's Wuhan lab, but it took him a long time to go there, although most people, 8 out of 10 people on the NIH staff were aware. And actually, it turned out that most people at NIH didn't take the bioweapon injection. Surprise, surprise. So we are looking at, what do we do as public? Okay, so I know as a holistic physician, orthomolecular psychiatrist, I'm looking at this and saying, well, I checked it out. It didn't meet any standards of any really good research at all. And so because of the danger of it, the danger of all vaccinations in a certain way, 8 times more kind of earaches and throats and infections in the young kids. But I won't go into that. The fact is, this was a dangerous, relatively unproven, quote, vaccination. And yet he pushed it, and he made up the 6 feet thing. There's no evidence whatsoever. It's just he made it up. And all these other things, shutting down schools, shutting down the New York school system, and shutting down California. It's like there was something going on for him where he was getting a big power kick out of this, doing things that truly, truly weren't based on public health. Now, I was a lieutenant commander in the public health system, so I have some understanding of some of this. And what we're looking at is whether it was deliberate or not, it was a biological hoax that ended up killing many people, young, teenagers, young men, having heart attacks, whether playing sports, and we don't even know the long-term consequences. Okay, we're at 5 years since he started this. Since this was started, what about 10 years? What about 20 years? There's a unfortunate suggestion that those that took what I'm calling it a bioweapon injection, actually may damage their longevity process. So what's the lesson? Okay, the lesson isn't about condemning Fauci. He already earned that one. And so how do we protect ourselves? How do we figure out what to do? Now, as I say, it helps to get a medical background, but then where do you go with that? And so where I go with that is I try to make sense of things, is I look at experts, mostly, medical experts, who have some connection to doing the right thing versus profit, and who have kind of a sense of how things work a little bit. Now, the point I'm making is nobody really knows. They got a vaccination, it's going to save humanity, everything's great. It's like, wait, how is this tested, and what are the side effects? And we don't know these things for a time. So the most important way to protect yourself is don't take it on faith, untested research, untested theory. Now, it's good to have theories, fine, but taking a bioweapon injection because of a, quote, theory that this should protect you, that's not what we want to see. And, when you look at the armed forces and all the people who took the injection, what is the long-term result? I don't know if they'll ever publish that, but somebody's going to publish it somewhere along the line. So we protect ourselves by not trusting the science, quote, because he didn't have science. So we have to be able to see through the superficiality of what some people are doing. And let's just again say Fauci had a good intent or a neutral intent. I wouldn't call it good. He just wanted to become famous and important and powerful. And that's not how you do science. That's not how you do humanitarian things that way. And so we have to step back and say, what's this person's motivation? What's his background? What's the real research that's done? And we have to find in the medical world, and I'm going to say in every of the different worlds, people who we can trust, not necessarily government officials, because that's not necessarily the case, but there clearly are some government officials you can trust. And I don't want to get into the politics of that, but there are certain people who are sincere and you really can trust them, who really do care. Okay, and those are the people we have to find and sort out. But the responsibility comes to us and not somebody saying, you got to take this because everybody's taking it and, you'll have to quit your job. If you don't, well, fine. If somebody's telling me you have to quit your job because you have to take an untested bioweapon injection, then it tells you your life is at risk, which is exactly what did happen. The amount of deaths immediately and also after a period of time in young people is really scary. So the message that I'm laying out to people is we've got to trust our own instincts. We've got to find people, whatever field they're talking about. Here we're talking medical, who we kind of have, who are some level of expertise, but we trust them. Because right now it's hard to trust almost anything in our society because so many people have given up their ethics and integrity. So trust in that light within yourself and the love and the peace and the oneness within yourself. Trust in your ability to tune into that divine truth and then look for other people who are resonating with some level of that. That's the best I can offer, but it's a very good start, and it would have kept you from taking the bioweapon injection. So, I want to thank Doug for setting this whole thing up, and peace be with you. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O Ataki Aho.